Airbnb is an enticing realm of hobbit-inspired abodes, secluded treehouses, and beachfront cottages. Yet, amidst the allure lies a grim reality. Your dreamy escape might seamlessly mutate into a relentless nightmare. Brace yourself as we unfold 3 truly daunting Airbnb horror stories, each one a harbinger of the unforeseen terrors that can lurk behind the facade of a seemingly perfect rental. The journey ahead is fraught with terror and suspense as we delve into the hidden horrors that have left indelible scars on those seeking respite. Once upon a time, I managed a cozy Airbnb house in a vibrant little town where the community buzzed with life and familiarity. It was a quaint abode, nestled within the heart of this lively town, offering a home away from home to travelers seeking a peaceful retreat. At first, managing this humble abode was manageable, a simple juggling between my regular job and ensuring the house was prepared and welcoming for its new occupants. The benefits were tempting. A chance to earn a little extra, especially since the house was in a relatively high-traffic area, making it an attractive option for vacationers seeking a temporary haven. Initially, my wife and I were excited about this venture's potential to earn more in our pockets. However, the demands escalated as time passed, and more people started booking the house. We needed to be meticulous, adhering to schedules, and arranging for cleaning services promptly after one set of customers departed and before the next arrived. Timely responses to messages and emails became essential, keeping the guests satisfied. A seemingly ordinary young couple booked one night's stay like any other. They arrived and settled in while I monitored their check-in remotely. I seldom met the guests face-to-face. Usually, just a couple of texts are exchanged for coordination. This time, however, was different. As the clock neared 9, signaling bedtime, a text from the young man staying at the house arrived, and a sense of unease settled within me. He mentioned that the water wasn't functioning in the house. This was highly unusual, as we always ensured everything was in order before guests arrived. Nevertheless, living in a place devoid of water was unacceptable, and I knew I had to address the issue immediately. Seeking permission to check it out quickly, I drove to the house a few minutes later. Pulling into the driveway, I noticed an anomaly that struck me. 2 cars parked outside. Odd, considering they were just a young couple here for a night. It didn't add up, but tired and eager to resolve the issue, I pushed it aside and entered the house. Once inside, an unsettling quietness enveloped the air. The guests should have been waiting for me, but were nowhere in sight. My first task was to check the main water valve, ensuring no leak or any other anomaly was causing the issue. Making my way to the basement, I inspected the valve. Everything seemed normal, and a sense of confusion gnawed at me. Why was the valve manually shut off? I turned the valve, and water rushed back, perplexing me further. As I pondered this odd occurrence, anxiety crept in. Suddenly, I heard the basement door open, followed by footsteps echoing through the silence. Slowly, 3 older men emerged from the shadows. One of them, closest to the stairs, had a gun tucked into his pants. Fear seized me, compelling me to ascend the stairs in haste, desperate to flee that eerie ambience. Their gazes bore into my back, sending me an unexplainable shiver. Upon returning home, I shared this harrowing encounter with my wife. We were left with a chilling uncertainty, grappling with the enigmatic events. The strangers, utilizing a stolen card for their stay, had also made off with valuable possessions from the house, intensifying our bewilderment. Their inexplicable motive regarding the water remained a haunting enigma. We refrained from visiting the place while guests were present, opting for the usual mode of renting. However, the memory of those enigmatic strangers loomed large, an unsettling mystery etched in our minds. One day, mustering courage, I revisited the urn, hoping for some semblance of an explanation. To my bewilderment, they had vanished, leaving behind an unresolved puzzle. The questions regarding their true identities and intentions persisted, haunting our thoughts and causing an enduring disquiet. Why did they beckon me if they were mere thieves, leaving this enigma unsolved. I set off on a lone expedition to the eerie realms of New Orleans, a city dripping with shadows and whispers of the past. Unlike previous vacations bound by family, this voyage allowed me to embrace solitude, a prospect I oddly relished. Intrigued by the enigmatic charm of erms, I perused the listings. Curiously, the erms proved both more appealing and affordable than hotels. The cheaper ones, though a bit remote, intrigued me. Being a zealous driver, the distance didn't daunt me. I selected a quaint erm with an inviting bedroom and a serviceable kitchen. My arrival transpired during the witching hour on a moonless Sunday morning, welcomed by a cryptic text from the owner, unveiling the password. As I ferried my possessions inside, the place cast a spell on me, a stark departure from my cramped apartment. Eager to surrender to the tranquil silence, I reclined on the couch and succumbed to exhaustion. Hours later, the clock announced the approach of midnight. I awoke surrounded by pitch darkness and an eerie silence. An inexplicable chill swept the room. A glance at the clock revealed the time, just past midnight. As I switched the TV off and ventured towards the kitchen for a sip of water, an unnerving gust of frigid air enveloped me. My gaze landed on the front door, wide open, an intrusion into my solitude. Alarmed, I secured the door, struggling to fathom how it swung open, knowing I had locked it. Unease gnawed at me, a palpable tension in the air. An unsettling notion crept into my mind, an intruder violating my sanctuary. Clutching a kitchen knife, I inspected the rooms, finding no one. I reached out to the homeowner, sharing my disquieting encounter, desperate for answers to this mystery. Anxious moments stretched into hours. As the shadows deepened and the world embraced the shroud of night, I wrestled with fear and an unnerving feeling of being watched. Morning light broke, yet my anxiety lingered. From beyond my bedroom door, I heard a soft, sinister whisper. Panic surged through me, my mind racing to comprehend the breach of my sanctum. The password, known only to the homeowner, tormented me, grappling with a horror I could scarcely comprehend. Summoning every ounce of courage, I grasped my phone to dial 911. In that breathless moment, the intruder retreated into the shadows as if sensing my intent. The police arrived, but the trespasser remained elusive, leaving a riddle that refused to be solved. Seeking refuge in a hotel, I received a refund from the erm owner, a seemingly kind old man. Yet the mystery lingers, an intruder's violation haunting my thoughts. The gaping maw of the open door, a grotesque reminder of vulnerability, leaves me with an unending question. How did they enter? And why did they choose to haunt my solitude? On a chilly, ominous night in Rialto, California, on May 9, 2015, I found myself at a peculiar erm. It was intended to be a mere stop during my vacation journey, a place to rest before moving on. The darkness was settling, and the clock ticked around 11 p.m. I decided on the couch, feeling the weariness of the long drive. Yet within the confines of this erm, things felt oddly unsettling. Strange shadows danced menacingly in the corners, and the flickering lights cast eerie shapes upon the walls. A palpable sense of unease seeped into the air, making me acutely aware that something wasn't right. As I began to doze off, there was an abrupt interruption, a sharp, jarring ring of the doorbell. Startled, I made my way to the door, a sense of foreboding growing within me. Peering through the peephole, I saw two mysterious figures engaged in hushed conversation. It sent a shiver down my spine. The man at the door claimed they were here for the erm, having booked it for the night. Confusion clouded my mind. I had a valid booking for that very night. An uncomfortable feeling of suspicion settled in. Instinctively, I stood my ground, urging them to contact the owner to clear up the confusion. While one left, the other persisted, attempting to persuade me to open the door. Something within told me it was unsafe, and danger lurked beyond that threshold. Minutes dragged on like hours, the tension palpable. I glanced out of a window, only to be met with a chilling sight. More masked individuals skulked in the shadows, waiting for something. Fear gripped me. Clutching my phone, I sought refuge in the bathroom, desperately hoping to remain concealed and safe. Outside, the footsteps grew louder, a haunting cacophony. The door yielded to their relentless assault, crashing open. My heart raced, and I felt a sense of entrapment, an overpowering fear. Soon, sirens wailing pierced the air, sending the intruders fleeing into the darkness. The police arrived, bringing a modicum of relief. However, I couldn't shake the realization that this wasn't an isolated incident. Break-ins like this were plaguing Rialto, turning each errand stay into a gamble, a risky encounter with fear. A lingering question haunted me. How deep did this dark issue run? Would I unknowingly stumble into it again, becoming an unwitting pawn in this twisted game of fate? The shadows whispered their enigmatic secrets, leaving me with an unsolvable puzzle, a mystery hanging in the air.